Good morning, dear students. Yesterday, we have done sample questions, particularly question number 3, the 3 extracts from literature. Dear students, let me tell you, we are moving with the sample question paper. And in the previous classes, we have discussed one analytical this unseen passage. And then we have covered up the literature questions, which are very short MCQ questions. So, today we'll be moving with the next question of the sample paper as discussed, that we have to appear in the paper. 40 marks are there for objective questions, MCQ questions. 20 marks for comprehension and 20 marks for literature. Now we are moving on to the poetry part, the objective MCQ questions from the poem. And the sample question I'm sharing with you. A minute. Let me share the screen. This is question number 4. So question number 1, an unseen passage. Question number 2, unseen passage based on analytical study. And question number 3, based on prose part, extracts from prose area from Flamingo and Vistas. And question number 4, let's do this and read this and move further. Let's read the extracts given below and attempt any one. Question number 3, 3 extracts. Out of 3, we have to do 2. And question number 4, 2 extracts from the poems, and we have will have to do 1. So there is a choice. So I hope it is clear. On sour cream walls, donations. Shakespeare's head, cloudless at dawn, civilized Rome riding all cities, Bell, Flowery, Tralles Valley, open-handed map awarding the world, and yet for these children, these windows, not this map, their world where all the future is painted with a fog. Dear students, this poem has been revised. You can go through the videos. You can find it in the videos that have been uploaded in both the sections, commerce as well as science. So, let us move on to the questions. What does the expression sour cream walls suggest? Sour cream walls suggest unkempt walls, uncared, poorly maintained. So, display of donated artifacts on the walls, badly maintained walls, wall-to-wall furniture, a poor choice of paint for colors. You can select the option which is the correct one. Which is the correct option? Anyone?
Badly maintained walls.
Very good. Very good. Correct answer. Now, the map of the world in the classroom symbolizes. What does this map symbolizes? Hopes and aspirations of the children, travel plans of the school authorities, a world that is unconnected to the children, interconnectivity within the world. So how will you answer this question? The map, what does this map suggest?
A world that is unconnected to the children.
Very good. A world that is unconnected to the children, because there is a world depicted in the classroom which is hazy, bleak, dark, and they are shown a bright world through the pictures. The expression Shakespeare's head is an example of pun, satire, parody, irony. You can take your pencil in your hand and you can note down what is pun, what is satire, what is this parody and irony. Make a note of it, because to answer this question you must know all three. The expression of Shakespeare's head is an example of irony. Shakespeare's picture is there, but Shakespeare's literature is not there in their classrooms. So it is very ironical. Now, pun, to play with the words for humor, conveying, which convey the double meaning. Pun. Pun, the definition, you can hear, you can listen, you can keep in your mind or you can note down so that if figures of speech in multiple choice come, you can just go through. Pun, humorous use of words in such a way that they suggest, like two meanings. Example, I'll give you an example also so that you can understand first. The city has the tallest building in the city is the city library, or the tallest building in the city is library. It has many stories. Now stories, STOREYS and STORIES. Two meanings have been conveyed. Now, so is there pun in this expression? No. Satire, what is satire? Criticizing vices of people, follies, their mistakes, their errors, their fallacies, and faults, you can say. So there is more than satire, more than parody, pun, there is irony. Because Shakespeare's picture is there, Shakespeare's head is there, but Shakespeare's knowledge, literature, learning is not there. Parody, what is parody? Imitation, performance of something which has been made by imitating, right? So, now let us move on to the fourth. In the extract, future is painted with a fog. Suggests that classroom is as foggy as the paint on the walls. Beautiful valleys are not the part of the children's future. Life ahead for the slum children is as unclear and hazy as fog. Fog often finds itself in the classrooms through broken windows. Which option is the correct one?
Life for the slum children is as unclear and hazy as fog.
Hazy, unclear, hazy itself means unclear, okay, obscure. So this way, dear students, so the second thing in the choice, second extract is from, we have imagined for the mighty dead. Recognize you need to this poem. All lovely tales that we have heard or read, an endless fountain of immortal drink pouring unto us from the heavens brink. See, dead, red, drink, drink, scene, rhyming words. Poem is a thing of beauty. The phrase immortal drink refers to blessings of our ancestors, the teachings of nature, the life-giving force, the beauty of heaven. Yes, anyone? You can keep your videos on. Yes. The phrase immortal drink refers to a life-giving force. All lovely tales evoke the feeling of sadness and nostalgia. Only nostalgia. Inspiration and pride, only pride. Please mark the answer, sadness and nostalgia, both. We long for the things, right? And now the rhyme scheme of the above extract. First two words, the last words, dead, red, AA, drink, brink, BB. The sounds they match. AABB is the rhyme scheme of this above extract. The literary divide, the option A, third question, option A is the answer. Shall we move on to the next question? The literary device used by the poet in the following lines is an endless fountain of immortal drink pouring unto us from the heavens brink. Personification, allegory, imagery, synecdoche. Which figure of speech is there? Personification.
Imagery.
Yes, beta. Please pardon.
Imagery.
Very good. Correct. Personification is not there. When inanimate objects are given human qualities, human attributes, it is personification, sorry. Allegory, representation of abstract, meaning or principles, ideas, or you can say very simple, symbolic representation. Right? Hidden, symbolic meaning. Imagery and synecdoche. Synecdoche I explained you yesterday also, expressing part for whole. Right? An example of ships and sails was also used. Those who are not there in the class can understand what is synecdoche. Like example, through example, you can understand. The commander, yes, I use this example. The commander guided the sails, 100 sails. Here, sails is ships. Whereas if you see, sail is a part of ship. Right? Like that. So here it is imagery, and I'm very happy that you have picked up the answers. Now, attempt any 8 questions out of 10. This is, now dear students, please understand how your 20 marks in MCQs from literature are covered. 3 extracts from prose part. Out of that, 2 you have to do. Then 2 extracts from the poetry part. So you have to do, just now we did question number 4. Out of 2, you have to do 1. And then in total, mixed lot of questions, mixed stuff of questions. 8 questions you have to do out of 10. The writer, let us move on to the question number 5. The writer tones down the philosophical load inherent in rat trap with the inclusion of. Now there is, let us understand this question first. There is a lot of philosophy in the lesson rat trap. The rat trap, the man whom we call rat trap, or the tramp, has his own philosophy, and that keeps on hovering us while journeying through a lesson. This philosophy has been also combined with any one of these options. Ironical situations, satirical dialogues, classical references, humor and wit. Any answer from your side?
Humor and wit.
Very good. Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Wonderful. Right? Now choose any query.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, in this first question, I don't understand why is it not satirical dialogues, because you said that it's basically criticizing someone, and we know that the person who sells the rat trap often says bad about the world, that the entire world is a rat trap. So
Yes,
he's
he
criticizing
criticizes.
only.
See, here we are talking on the theme of the lesson. The question is talking, let us understand the question. The question is talking tones. The writer tones down the philosophical load inherent with what particular theme? We have discussed there is humor, there is philosophy, there is, we have discussed one detailed question of 5 marks also. So, beta, the question is talking about the theme that philosophy is combined with which of these. So, we are not only talking of the dialogues, right? So, humor and wit is combined. Yes, he is, of course, as a character, he is talking of the things, but when we are talking of the theme, the philosophical mode inherent in the rat trap includes also what? There's a lot of humor. There's this NCRT question also discuss the humor and seriousness, and we have shared this in the class, right? So we are talking thematically. Choose the statement that is not true with reference to Douglas. Now, not true statement you need to select. I hope your query is clear, beta.
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. Choose the statement, and even you can, when you are reading at home, planning at home, your studies doing, note down your queries and you can ask whenever you come to school. Choose the statement that is not true with reference to Douglas. Now, option number A. Douglas' fear kept him away from leisurely activities in water. The fall in the pool at YMCA taught Douglas a life lesson. The fear of drowning was the source of Douglas' anxiety and terror. Douglas decided to practice relentlessly to overcome his fear. Now here, option 4. Not true we are talking, right? So at first he was afraid, he sat, he closed himself, packed himself, did not go to any place which was surrounded by water. He was anxious, he was terrorized, right? So, not true. Now coming to the his eyes live in a dream. Again, the second home, that is elementary school classroom in a slum. Spender's use of imagery. In his eyes live in a dream of squirrel, game, squirrel's game in tree room, other than this, brings out. Now what does this line brings out? Let us concentrate on the question. His eyes live in a dream of squirrel's game. Squirrel game is children outside, right? The squirrel, if you see squirrel's game, the literal meaning also, and they are sitting in drab, uninteresting classrooms, which are not at all maintained, where there is no learning, right? So the similarity between frail bodies of a squirrel and the children in the classroom. The contrast between studying in a dreary classroom and playing outside freely. So freedom and bondage, right? The comparison of dingy home of the squirrel and the dreary classroom. The difference between the games of the squirrel and those of children. Now you select the answer. I have explained you the question, right? Yes, anyone?
Ma'am,
The
I'm not sure,
similarity.
but it can be a
Yes,
B.
yes, please speak up. Please speak up.
I guess it's A.
B. The contrast between studying in a dreary classroom. Why this squirrel has been discussed by the poet, or what this squirrel is representing. His eyes live in a dream of squirrel's game. There is a child who's a dreamer, who dreams of a squirrel's game or a squirrel-like thoughts in a tree room. Other than this brings out the contrast of being a part of that particular classroom, which is quite uninteresting, drab, where there is no learning, and in the mind there is squirrel's game, outside and inside, right? Freedom and uh, bondage, which is because of poverty, right? Keats, now moving on to the next question, Keats celebrates trees as a boon in the poem Thing of Beauty. With reference to this statement, which of the following options is not true? Trees give us sustenance, trees provide us relief from heat, trees help keep the earth clean, trees appear beautiful to the eye. If you see on the surface level, all the four options, when we link them with the tree. But three of them are discussed in the poem and one is not discussed. This is the question. So with reference to this statement, which of the following options is not true? So that is the second one, right? Because, you know, dear students, you need to understand the figurative, the allegorical meanings, the hidden meanings, the symbolic meanings also. Now, this lesson we have done, concluding his last lesson by writing, Vive la France on the blackboard shows that M. Hamel was overwhelmed with emotions, wanted to distract all attending class that day, was keen on not leaving the country, wanted to teach French participles through it. Question is quite simple. He was overwhelmed. Yes, anyone speaking? Which
He
option?
was overwhelmed
A.
with emotions.
Yes, A part. Very direct question. Rajkumar Shukla's efforts resulted in Gandhiji's fight for the farmers' cause, showcase that he was meticulous and kind, right? Sincere and curious, enterprising and persistent, respectful and congenial, friendly, sociable, meticulous, well-planned, strategic. Rajkumar Shukla's efforts resulted in Gandhiji's fight for the farmers' cause. This showcased that he was both meticulous, he was, yes. Kindness here is not more like can be included. Sincere and curious, enterprising and persistent. Please mark C. It is clear, now moving on to the seventh question. It is clear that speaker in Aunt Jennifer's Tigers has an attitude of empathy, wonder, sympathy, gratitude. Now, wonder and sympathy we are leaving because we understand these are not the options, but empathy and sympathy. Now, sympathy, when you have sympathetic feelings for someone, but empathy when you put yourself in the same situation. So, the speaker here is sympathetic but not empathetic, right? So, you mark down sympathy, right? Right, dear students? So, then keeping quiet uses fishermen to symbolize man's exploitation. Limitless exploitation of natural resources. C, option number C. Question number 9. If I'm fast, you can take a second and read this question. Keeping quiet uses fishermen to symbolize man. Please learn it also when you're doing these. Fishermen here symbolize, or the fishermen, the work that they are doing symbolizes limitless exploitation of natural. Sahib's discarded and worn out tennis shoes are, of course, a sign of his poverty. But in the lesson, they symbolize one more thing, his dream come true. Right? So B option. In the poem, My Mother at 66, all that the poet did was smile and smile and smile. Her smile is. You have 10 questions, you have to do 8. Right? What is the answer?
To cheer her mother.
Very good. Absolutely correct, Beta. Now, Yes, Beta. Yes.
Can you please tell the answer of the second question?
Second question from these 10.
Yes, ma'am.
Choose the statement that is not true with reference to Douglas.
It's B.
The fall in the pool at YMCA taught Douglas a life lesson. You want to say that answer is B. Right? Dear students, let us discuss this question. The options are Douglas' fear kept him away from leisurely activities in water. True. The fall in the pool at YMCA taught Douglas a life lesson. This is true. This episode, falling in the YMCA pool, became a great step towards larger success. Failures are not failures. He fell, of course he fell. Later on, this episode paved the way for him. He, of course, learned a life lesson. The fear of drowning was the source of Douglas' anxiety and terror. Yes, he suffered, but then he overcame all those. Douglas decided to practice relentlessly to overcome his fear. Right? This is not taking place in the beginning and half of the lesson. Right? Even in the later stages, he hires a trainer and then he learns step by step all these. So we have marked not true. We need to, dear students, so here the option that I have given is D, right? Which is not true, right? So now moving on to the writing part. We will discuss tomorrow the sample, right? I hope you have understood these questions which we have shared, and keep solving multiple choice questions, 2 marks questions, right? So, right, dear students?
Yes, ma'am.
God bless you all. Thank you. We'll practice some more questions. We'll go through some more questions from now, part B. God bless you all. Thank you.